it's been a very good experience, a really good learning experience for me, and growing, in a lot of ways. Just even being like an entrepreneur and owning my own business. Like I always said, like I can't be fully successful in life until I don't have full recovery of my health, because that is like the only thing that will lead me to that, right? And I feel like I'm like almost there, right? And so it's very exciting. And
Yeah, I
and
love it.
thank
I love
you,
it.
because you guys have been awesome, and you guys have so much knowledge. It's amazing. It's really inspiring.
People have to reach a certain threshold for you to
Right?
have healthy cells to become completely symptom free.
Yeah,
But since
right,
you're already making progress in your lab work, most likely it's going to happen sooner for you than for some other
right,
people. So that's what it means. Based on your lab work, will tell you, okay, this is a guideline. These are the things you could eat. They're not going to set you back. We will
right.
give you that, and then we'll give you some recipes as well that you can refer to for the future.
Okay. And I'm assuming also like where my TPOs are at, right? Because that's a big one, because they were in the 900. So kind of seeing what's going on with that, right? Or do TPOs normally linger longer, or do you see those normally drop quicker?
So it varies from person to person. We've seen it drop really fast with some clients, but with other clients, it dropped a little bit, but then other labs normalized before that. So one of
Right,
our clients, she had hormonal issues, she had the high cholesterol, she had the high reactive cardiac C-reactive protein, so she had high inflammation in her heart. All of that, her CRP was 50 and it went down to 2 in 30
wow,
days, but her TPO only dropped a little bit because your body it decides what it wants to heal first. So
right,
it's really depends, because also antibodies have a lifespan. So as long as that
right,
number is not going up, eventually they're gonna die off as well, because you're not gonna be making new ones.
right. I
So
mean, they
it's
did go down like 40 within our first, like, I don't know, I think week, because they did my TPOs, and then a week and a half later I did labs because I was feeling hyper already, and they went down like 40. So, I
yeah, so
mean,
that's
for a week and
great.
a half,
Yeah, so
yeah,
you're not, because you're not making new ones with this diet, because you asked, am I getting more
right,
inflammation? It's basically would be impossible for you to have inflammation because there's no
right,
source of it. The only thing that could be inflammatory
right,
is that stress. We just did a video on a Facebook page where people have a lot of stress, anxiety, they're in the chronic stress, and it actually affects their
right.
bowels. They have diarrhea because it's kind of like, animals,
Yeah,
they poop when they see stress because it makes you light. You
of
have to
course.
run away.
Absolutely. You can tell the difference with what you're eating, the way that your stomach works too. Feel like long term, I want to make sure I'm always feeling good. And if this is the key to that, then I'm completely committed. And so I'm assuming that based on my lab work, if I'm still in an area where I'm still recovering, I should continue down the line of what I'm eating now, right? Until I'm at nothing, essentially.
Yeah, so what you're doing now, it's a rapid way to reverse autoimmunity, what you're doing right now. So over
Right.
time, over 5, 10 years, you're gonna have a completely new body that didn't have an autoimmune disease. Five to
Right.
10 years.
I do feel like so much more clarity in my mind. Like it's just, I can't even, it's like lighter in my mind, in my head, like it was heavy before. And I really could never pinpoint what that was. Um, but clearly it was like a form of like a brain fog that I think that I had, where this is like enhanced, like even my memory, and just for work, for in general, really about health and lifestyle and all of that, and longevity, because I'm like seeing them grow and I'm like, I want to be a healthy grandma, I want to be active. And so this is so important, and it's knowledge that I have for a lifetime. So it's things that will never leave me. And so I'm so happy. I followed you guys for so long. I think for like 2 years.
Oh, really?
I
I didn't
was
know
following
that.
you on Facebook. Yeah. And like watching your posts, and like I kept saying I was gonna do it, but at the time I like ran my company. I worked at an manage like 9 other women, and I was just doing so much, and then the kids, and it was pre-COVID, right? So things were very different and my life was so busy, which of course it's like you just like, I was like, and I was feeling good because I was eating relatively
Mhm,
healthy, and
mhm.
I took out so many inflammatory things. So like you said, I mean, when I was in the 1400s, my TPO, and they were going down to the 900s, it was significant for my body because my body saw this huge
Mhm.
change and everything was great. And then I think really when we went into COVID, it really got me thinking about everything, and I had more time and everyone's at home. So it was kind of like, just maybe it'll be easier for me to take care of myself because ultimately I'm only more beneficial to all of them if I have my full health. Because inevitably at times I would feel impatient or annoyed or angry and not know why. And it was clearly parts of the autoimmune that were still in there, that I was fighting with. And I don't feel that. And like, even when things are so chaotic and everyone's talking to me, I could just be like, okay, guys, good night. Like, go to your rooms and like
Mhm.
not feel upset and just be like, okay, I need my time. And you guys have like made my fire, like I was like getting there. And then I told my husband, I'm like, I need someone to like push me to the end and I can't do it anymore on my own. And so it was magic, right? Because you guys gave me those tools that were completely missing from my toolbox. I definitely think, anyone, I always say, like, I know so many people. So slowly I'll just, spread the word because anyone that's, dealing with any of this, they're fools not to try to take the opportunity to change their lives, and of course not everyone is willing to put the time in, and that's, I think, the hardest part is you have to be committed. No one's going to do it for you, and it's not a magic pill that you're swallowing. Crazy the things that are out there that are trying to promote autoimmune recovery and health, and it's like it's not real, and people get duped into it, and think that there's like an easier way to do it. So
Yeah, and that's why the problem we have with that is that even if they take something, let's say maybe it reduces inflammation, but they're still eating inflammatory foods. So it
right,
cancels out the benefit because even if your body trying to repair, but you still continue having sources of inflammation, it's not going to happen.
right,
So that's why with our approach, there's no supplements. We know what your cells need to actually accelerate the cellular repair without any supplements or anything like that, because we haven't needed to use anything aside from what we're teaching, and you've seen the results our clients get that even
right.
the doctors don't believe, but that's what's really happening. All those videos, we always constantly have to have all these videos because a lot of people, they also don't believe us, and
Of
we
course,
don't really know. Like this a client sharing it, we're not telling them what to say, but we don't
right,
really know
of
how
course.
else to show that what we do it's real, because it, a lot of people don't believe us. They still think, oh, I don't believe that's a progress your clients make in 6 weeks, but we have their labs.
Right. There's so many coaches out there and people out there, doctors actually, that will say, I can help you, they say get your disease in remission. They don't say reversal, right? And that was like a big difference for me, is that why are all these doctors saying remission and why are they saying reversal? I said
Mhm.
reversal is forever. Remission is just a matter of time. I eat those trigger foods, I go back, I've gotten myself into remission. I said, it doesn't help. It just, it's like, yeah, I feel great, but the second I eat something that is outside or, and then for me, that worked for so long. And then in the last year, that really didn't work because everything was kind of being reactive to me at times. So, that it is doing the research. And then I just knew, I was like, they're saying reversal. They have all the clients to prove that they've helped. And you guys had a lot of Hashimoto's clients, which was
Mhm.
compelling for me. But now doing your program, it's beyond that. I see the knowledge is just, you guys are just so knowledgeable in autoimmunity and in the immune system in general. So that really helps with all these diseases that people are battling with. Because ultimately, everyone's battling with some type of autoimmune disease, which is
Yes,
crazy.
yes. So which is chronic inflammation, and that's what we talked about this less inflammatory ways of eating. But our program, it's the most anti-inflammatory, and it's the one that
Right.
stimulates the most repair. So that's why we do that's the kind of progress our clients make, but then the healing continues. So that's why we teach you everything that you need to know to take the next steps without us, and then maintain your results for long term, because there's a big difference between remission and reversal. Reversal means your symptoms are gone, you're no longer diagnosable as having an autoimmune disease. And that's what we're
Right.
doing here. And that's what we've seen with our clients. And the reason why we say reversal is because we've done it for other people, maybe other doctors that haven't done it for others. So they can't say it, but because we've done it, we're comfortable with saying that autoimmune diseases are reversible. You have to do the
Right.
right thing for a longer period of time to get there. And then you can eat other, the things that maybe you're sensitive to now. When your immune system goes back to normal, you're not going to be sensitive to them anymore, because your cells are
Right.
healthy and they don't react that way anymore.
When my husband picked up the lower prescription, the pharmacist was like, "Oh, yeah, she's always going to be up and down." And then my husband was like, "I just wanted to be like, no, she's not. She's just going to keep going down." And it's just the notion of the way they think that it's like, oh, it's just the disease. Your thyroid's going to go up and down. And it's like, to go drastically down, down, down like this, to me, shows that the body is recovering and is like, I don't need this much hormone. It's almost like toxic in the body, which I could feel it at times, with my heart beating really fast. Like, I know that my thyroid is not where it needs to be. I need to be at more of a normal state, not hyper and not hypo. But I think normally, like when I'm at like a 2, that's like when I feel good. When my TSH is like at a 2.
Mhm. Yes. So that's why, we encourage you to, we'll look at your labs and we'll tell you what to do to keep going. So that way you recover rapidly, and I'm confident you can completely get off of it. We
Yeah.
just want to see those labs. Maybe it will take a while for your TSH to normalize, because you just lowered your medication. All these things have to happen, communication
Right.
between your cells as
Yep.
well. And so don't worry about it. Send us your labs and we'll see what's going to be best for you to continue on.